Hello, you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Britik, coming at you fast with another Call of Duty Advanced Warfare video. And I just want to quickly say thank you guys so much for the support. We hit 9K subscribers today, and it's pretty epic, pretty awesome. Thank you all so much for the tremendous support. You guys have responded to me with feedback through YouTube, through Twitter, of how much you guys really like these videos, and I like making them for you guys, especially if they're helpful and if you like them. So without further ado, let's get into it. The reason I didn't upload for a little while is because I was busy with school and because my cat devoured my microphone, so I had to go get a new one because I was going to record yesterday, but I found this out about 10 o'clock at night, and by then I just didn't feel like going out of the house. So yeah, let's get into the topic of the video. So the topic of the video actually is derived from a few of your guys' comments and questions on Twitter, on YouTube, and that's why I started off with this video by saying that, is because there's been questions about, hey Britik, how do I find a team? How do I find people who are willing to team with me on game battles? How do I stick with them? And how do we become a team, together as a really dominant, really good team? So I decided to talk and make this video about finding the right people, making the right team, and what you can do for your team to be successful. And I know this sounds like a lot of stuff that I already covered, but I wanted to make a one unified go-to video for you to go to understand how to do this. Now what you're seeing here is a game battle with actually not my usual teammates. There was a time where Termination, which was the name of our team, broke up, and a lot of different members went different places. Buffon and I actually decided to team with Dugan and Eruption. Dugan is now on Xbox, and Eruption, I don't know what he's doing anymore, but then, we ended up breaking up. But this was a game battles when we were all together. It was a close match, and I do pretty damn well. I think I go 33-20. So that's a pretty good KD for me, at least. I usually am not the tier 1 slayer on the team, so whenever it's a 10 kill difference, that's always a good thing for me. But anyways, let's get on to the topic of the video. So finding the people. How do you find the people you want to team with? Well, in a lot of videos I always mention that you should play with your friends. Okay, well, what if your friends don't get on enough, or they don't play Call of Duty that much? What if they just don't, what if you don't have any friends that would like to play with you? And that means you need to make new friends that are better than your old friends. No, I'm just kidding. Don't ever replace your old friends. But you do have to find new people that are willing to team with you. And where do you find these people? Twitter. Twitter is the best place to find these people. Now, I could say game battles forums, but usually not too many people look on those forums, and the ones who do look on them are the noob teams. You don't want to be on the noob teams. You want to be teaming with people who know what they're doing. So go on Twitter and tweet at a lot of different people, at a lot of different handles, okay? And these handles can just be at CoD retweet, at CoD RT, Advanced Warfare retweet, MLG retweet, just all these retweet sites that get gamers together, that spread your name out there, and just tweet at them. Be like, hey, I'm a however many year old person looking for a team. I play this, or, I'm new, I want to get involved, spread the word. And then you tweet it at these big retweeting handles, and they just retweet it, and everybody who's following them sees that basically advertisement, and they will probably contact you if they're interested. That's usually the best way to handle it, is through Twitter. Twitter is the best place to go if you want to meet new people and handle new people and stuff like that. So that's finding the team. Now, sticking with the team. I recently got a tweet from Nick. He pretty cool dude. He works, he has a job. He recently tried to get back into game battles, and he asked me, hey, he contacted me through Twitter, which everybody can do if you'd like, just at BritikHD, follow me, all that kind of stuff. But he asked me on Twitter, he's like, hey Britik, how I'm trying to get back into competitive. Ever since Black Ops 2, I've just been on really bad teams, but this time I found some people that I really like, and we all like each other, and we're all pretty good players, but as a team we're not playing really well. What can we do to find out who's good at what? So this becomes the question of deciding who does what, who has what role, who's going to be the objective player, who's going to be the slayers, who's going to be the anchor, stuff like that. That was a pretty sexy kill. But anyway, who's going to do what in the family? And it's it's pretty important that you assign these roles so those people know what their job is. So they only have one job. You only had one fucking job, Mike. But just to make sure that they only have one job so they know what they're doing, so they know what they need to focus on. So if you try going to blame them, they're like, I only had one job, man. You should have been doing your job. And yeah, so if everybody does their own job correctly, the team should be successful. You don't need to multitask on a good team. You know, the objective player doesn't need to get 3 pieces every single time. You know, the slayers can't be going double negative. The anchor needs to be rotating first. Stuff like that. You know, that if you're doing the right thing, if you're doing your only job right, then you'll be successful as a team. So how do you figure out who does what and who does what well? Well, there's an easy way to do that, and that's just practice. And how do you practice in Call of Duty? You play a lot of fucking games. You play a lot of games. You play a lot of GBs. You play a lot of team scrims. You play a lot of UMGs. You just play a lot together, and you figure out each other's play style. You get to know each other. You get a feel for each other's chemistry, giggity, and you just get to understand how everybody plays. And that's very, very, very important, because then that will just be easier in setting up your roles. For example, somebody who has a submachine gun, somebody who gravitates towards the hardpoint a lot, will most likely be a good OBJ player, since they're focusing on the hardpoint so much, and usually hardpoints are small enough for SMGs to be more dominant than assault rifles. If you have somebody who is a bit sluggish and likes to stick behind and pick up the kills on the last hill, or try to push out first away from the hill and try to get kills, then maybe they'll be a slayer. And if you have, somebody who's an okay slayer, but somebody who doesn't really like being on the hill, then, they can be the anchor. Or in Capture the Flag, you just use 3 slayers and 1 OBJ. Stuff like that. You just get a feel for each other. What you can do is you can also run a lot of scrims, play a lot of GBs, and you can just interchange people, basically. Just have people play the different roles. Have one guy play OBJ one game, have the other one play OBJ the next game, so on and so forth, and see what clicks with people. And play multiple games like that. Play like 3 games with one person as the OBJ and everybody else as the other things, then switch to another person, then switch to another person. See who does it the best, see who fits with it the best, because people need to play the position they want to play. If they're not playing it, they're not going to have fun. They're not going to be playing what they like. And so that brings in a second thing. There's a conflict now. What if there's 2 people who want to be the objective player? Well, maybe both of them should be the objective player. In hardpoint, you only need one person in the hill technically, but if you have 2 people who are constantly pushing towards the hill, then maybe the other 2 people can be the slayers. Stuff like that. So you can work around it a little bit, but the most favorable setup when it comes to positions is 1 OBJ player, 2 slayers, and 1 anchor, or 1 OBJ player and 3 slayers. Usually you want at least 1 assault rifle, the rest could be SMGs, or you can have 2 assault rifles and 2 SMGs. You don't ever want to have 3 ARs and 1 SMG, because you want to be versatile, you want to be a versatile team, and the OBJ usually has the SMG, so if you have 3 people with ARs, that's alright, but usually you have at least one of the slayers constantly supporting OBJ. There used to be a position called support, but now people just say slayers all the time. But, technically that could be like the support role where they run with the OBJ and help them win like 2v2 situations or 2v1 situations and stuff like that. But that's how you would allocate it. Just practice a lot and play with different rotations. People play different positions and stuff like that, and you should be good. You should figure it out eventually. In about a week, 2 weeks, you should figure it out. And, you shouldn't quit a team because you guys are losing. That is not when you quit a team. Do not quit a team because you guys are losing. Quit a team only if a couple things. 1, if you don't click with any of the people, if you just don't like them, or you get into a lot of arguments, or you just don't see eye to eye. That's not going to make a good teammate. Number 2, leave when you're just not feeling at home. You get this feeling. Once you meet the right group of people, you'll just get this feeling. You'll know that you're just having fun. You're having fun playing games. If you're not having fun playing that game, playing game battles with these people, do not team with them. That is not a good sign. Video games are meant to, you're supposed to have fun in video games. It shouldn't feel like work. If it feels like work, that's when you want to leave a team. It should never feel like work. It should feel like enjoyment. First off, foremost, it's a fucking video game, guys. Remember that. It's a video game, okay? And that's about it. So find people through Twitter, and everything that I listed just recently, follow that to the T, to the dashed I, whatever you fucking call it, dash T, dotted I, suck a dick. I don't know. But follow it religiously, and that should help you figure out what team you want to get on, figure out what you want to do on that team, and figure out how to stay together as a team. Again, chemistry is key. Chemistry, chemistry, chemistry. If one of your teammates can crack a joke and the other 3 laugh at it without even thinking, that's a pretty good sign of chemistry, for example. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful, and as always, have a wonderful day.